Attention passionate Cleveland, BROWNS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Cleveland, BROWNS. Let's get to the news. So, guys, it's been a roller coaster of a week for the Cleveland Browns. We had high hopes heading into Week 16, especially after a solid stretch that had us dreaming of playoff possibilities, but things didn't quite go as planned. The Browns fell 23-20 to the Bills in what was a gritty, hard-fought game, and unfortunately it came with a big blow. Quinshon Judkins, our leading rusher, suffered a dislocated ankle and fractured fibula. That's a tough pill to swallow, especially as Judkins has been such a key part of our run game this season, and everything now points to him needing surgery. It's a reminder of how brutal this game can be, and as Browns fans, we hate seeing our guys go down like that. Judkins was having a solid day early, rushing for 22 yards on 8 carries and adding 5 catches for 29 yards before the injury. And honestly, that's just a snapshot of his impact this season. He's been our leading rusher, with 827 yards and 7 touchdowns. For a rookie, that's impressive, and he's shown flashes of being a true game changer. But the bigger story here, beyond the injury, is how the Browns responded. You could see the fight in our guys, even when the game wasn't going perfectly. Coach Kevin Stefanski mentioned how frustrating it was to lose a game they wanted to close out, especially against a good team like the Bills. And you know what? That frustration is justified, but it also shows the resilience of this team. They didn't roll over. Instead, they kept battling, kept pushing, and showed a lot of heart. It's the kind of grit that Browns fans love to see, fighting till the last whistle, no matter the odds. Now, if we look at the game itself, there's a lot to unpack. The Bills came into this game with one of the league's best rushing attacks, averaging nearly 159 yards per game, and they weren't shy about leaning on that strength. James Cook was a nightmare for us, rushing 16 times for 117 yards and a 44-yard touchdown in the first quarter. That run was a reminder that we've got to tighten up our run defense, especially against a team that loves to pound the rock. Our guys tried to make adjustments in the second half, and we did better, holding Buffalo to just 31 rushing yards after halftime. Still, those 2 rushing touchdowns in the red zone, including Cook's long run, kept the Bills in the game and made life tough for us defensively. Myles Garrett and the rest of the D-line fought hard, but Buffalo's run game was just too effective early on. Meanwhile, our offense showed flashes of brilliance. Shedeur Sanders had a pretty decent day, completing 20 of 29 passes for 157 yards and a touchdown. His playmaking ability with his feet was on display, rushing 4 times for 49 yards, and that's something we've been excited about, a young QB who can move around and extend plays. That scramble for 10 yards in the first half really kept drives alive and kept us in the game. Our offensive line also did a good job, especially in the run game, finishing with 160 yards on the ground. Joel Bitonio and Luke Whippler, our sure-handed guards and center, really stepped up in blocking and communication. You could see that when they executed their blocks well, the offense was clicking. And that's key because, despite the injuries, the Browns still managed to move the ball effectively. Speaking of the run game, it's important to highlight how the injury to Judkins impacted our game plan. With Jerome Ford still on injured reserve and Dylan Sampson battling a hand injury, we had to turn to Raheem Sanders, Travion Williams, and Malachi Corley. And you know what? Those guys stepped in and did their part. Sanders carried 11 times for 42 yards, and Corley chipped in with 30 yards on 3 carries. Stefanski made it clear he trusts these guys. They're in every meeting, they practice with us, and they're part of the team's core. It's a testament to the depth of our roster, even when facing adversity. Travion Williams, in particular, ran really hard and made some big plays, showing that our run game can still be effective even without Judkins. But as Browns fans, we also have to be honest. The game was tight, and late in the fourth quarter, we had a shot to win it. Down by 3 with just under 4 minutes left, Shedeur Sanders connected with Corley for an 11-yard gain. Then, unfortunately, he was sacked for an 8-yard loss, setting us back and forcing us into a tough 3rd and 20 situation. We tried to push deep to Jerry Jeudy on 3rd down, but the pass was incomplete, and we had to punt. That final drive was a classic case of how a game can turn on just a few plays. Shedeur, despite some ups and downs, showed poise and toughness. He threw for 157 yards with a touchdown and 2 picks, and he ran for 49 yards, showing that he's a real dual-threat quarterback. Stefanski praised his resilience, saying how proud he is of how Shedeur fought through the game, making spectacular plays with his feet and staying competitive till the very end. Of course, on defense, Myles Garrett was a force again, as usual. He's been a consistent anchor for our pass rush, and his effort was evident throughout the game. Garrett's ability to get after the quarterback and stuff the run is what makes him one of the best in the league. Alongside him, guys like Isaiah McGuire and Mason Graham also stepped up, trying to contain Buffalo's offensive attack. The Bills were able to find success with a balanced approach, mixing the run and pass, and it was a tough day for our defense, especially against the run. But in the second half, we tightened up, limiting Buffalo to just 31 rushing yards, which shows that our guys didn't give up and they kept fighting. Now looking ahead, the Browns are entering the final stretch of the season, and it's clear we've got a lot to build on. Injuries are piling up, no doubt, but the resilience and fight of this team are still front and center. We've seen flashes of what this team can be when it's firing on all cylinders. The offense, with Shedeur at the helm, has potential, especially when the line blocks well and the run game finds its rhythm. The defense, led by Garrett and the secondary, remains a tough nut to crack when they're playing their assignment. But we need consistency, and we need to stay healthy if we're going to make a real run. The AFC North is a tough division, no doubt, with teams like the Ravens and Bengals always lurking, but the Browns have shown that they can hang with the best. The key now is to learn from these tough losses, stay hungry, and keep fighting until the final whistle. Every game is a learning experience, and the young talent on this team, especially Sanders and Judkins, has shown they can develop into stars. The coaching staff is focused on making adjustments and getting the team to peak at the right time. We're all hoping that this season ends with a playoff push, and hopefully, a deep run that takes us back to the Super Bowl. The fans are the heartbeat of this franchise, and your support is what keeps the players going through thick and thin. The energy at FirstEnergy Stadium is unmatched, and I know Browns Nation is always ready to rally, no matter what the scoreboard says. So even with setbacks like Judkins' injury, we stay proud, we stay loud, and we keep believing. The journey isn't over yet, and the best is yet to come for this team. We've got young stars, a resilient defense, and a coaching staff that's hungry to improve. That's what makes Browns football special, the grit, the heart, and the relentless pursuit of greatness. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cleveland Browns. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Cleveland Browns news.